Since y'all have no problem with dudes puffing and passing, let me show y'all what it would look like if a commentator showed up. Ha! Huh? I understand what you're saying, man. I do. You know?
You can tell Stephen A. has always been sober from this invitation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this is someone who does not.
You've never been high.
No.
Never that.
Why can't you open your eyes?
16. Hey, man.
Are you hungry right now, Stephen A?
Yeah, I'm hungry and thirsty all at the same time, bro.
Huh? So this is Stephen A. Smith impersonating someone who is a marijuana smoker, tarnishing the medical benefits for what he is paraded to do, get clicks. Matt Barnes, a 13-year NBA pro, called him out.
I gotta say, man, I'm really bothered by your stance on cannabis and your lack of knowledge of cannabis and the portrayals you put out into the media, considering your platform is so big. On this subject, you have very little knowledge, and you continue to make a mockery out of something that a lot of us take very serious and really depend on and know the benefits and how much it could really help not only athletes, but everyone from our grandparents to children.
And Stephen A. responded.
Matt Barnes is probably right. I'm probably very, very ignorant about cannabis, aka weed. I never claimed to be knowledgeable about it. So when he says that, again, he's right.
Stop here. Stephen A. claims ignorance. I never said to be knowledgeable about weed, while imitating, to his knowledge, a stoner. This is a double-edged sword of debauchery, but let's continue.
Matt Barnes, I want you to know, I don't know whether I'll be able to do your podcast because I work for ESPN, and I don't know if I'm allowed to be on Showtime.
This is true. Speaking from firsthand knowledge, there is protocol. However, if Stephen A. can do this...
I was saying to you, when you say the Democrats, they're coming after them and the Republicans are caving, et cetera, et cetera.
Of course
I'm
they
saying
are.
to you, what culpability do you hand
we have
towards
5
a president?
investigations
Towards
going
a president.
On. We have 5 separate
but every time he
investigations
tweets, he gives added fuel.
He can likely go on Showtime. Here's my crux. Smith has covered it all, but his lack of depth on this subject should ring the Hunter Henry bells.
I was eating 100 Percocets a month during my career, even up until 5 years after I retired.
That's Jim McMahon, Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for cannabis, period.
And Kyle Turley, an NFL veteran who turned to marijuana.
There was opioid abuse. You really could go in the training room and get what you wanted. I can get Vicodin, I could get Oxy. It was too available. I used Percocet and stuff like that, and I did not like the way that made me feel. I had my preferred choice of medicine, cannabis.
Add Hall of Famer to be Calvin Johnson into the mix. Opioids are what the NFL prescribes. Take it from former quarterback Ray Lucas.
It was normal, about 120 pills a month, but it quickly escalated to 400 to, at my worst, I was taking 800 pills a month.
And the consequences are lethal.
At least 91 Americans die every day from an opioid overdose. Drug overdoses now kill more people than guns or car accidents.
In 2017, the CDC showed over 70,000 deaths from prescription drug overdose per their estimations. Medical marijuana, well, you likely know the results. What Stephen A. must also know is marijuana is not just about getting high. That's right, there's 100 compounds from a single plant, and only THC gets you high. Nausea is treated from these compounds, FDA approved. As a matter of fact, multiple sclerosis and epilepsy can be treated from the compound nabiximols. I have firsthand knowledge of someone who experienced seizures, started using marijuana, and they went away. Pain relief can be associated with marijuana. Look, I can go on and on and on. He's in his 50s, my parents are in their 60s. They have been sold on the dangers of marijuana because that was their childhood. So to take them on the journey of visiting a dispensary was culture shock. However, with knowledge comes wisdom. Nixon created the class schedules of drugs, and marijuana is still a Schedule I. With LSD and heroin. To illustrate the farce of scheduling drugs, ketamine is a 3, lumped together with Tylenol. If my parents can come around, I believe Stephen A. can as well. He's ranted before on this topic, and his arguments always stem from having the facts. Why is marijuana not covered and discussed the same way, Stephen A.? You do your homework on every issue in sports, but not the beneficiary. Medicinal methodology for many athletes? It's time for Stephen A.'s reckoning, and I welcome that discussion.